Hey, good morning. Happy Monday. Last day of March here. So thanks for joining us today live at 9 o'clock. It's the big day. It's finally here. Report day. If you haven't heard, we got a couple reports today. But yeah, last day of March as well. Yeah, that means tomorrow's April Fool's Day. So keep your head on a swivel tomorrow. Expect the unexpected going forward. Let's jump on over to your markets. We'll run down some headlines here and talk about what's going on here today. Big day today, though. May corn down 3.5 here to start the day, 449 and 3/4. New crop D's corn 441 down a penny and a half out of the gate here this week. Soybeans, May beans up 2 3/4, 10.25 and 3/4. New crop November 25 beans up 3 cents at 10.32. Oil's a little bit weaker. Meals a bit firmer. Chicago wheat relatively unchanged, 528.5 on the May. Looking over at KC, up 2 3/4, 554 on the May KC wheat. New crop July, KC wheat up 2 1/4, 567 3/4. Over in your meat markets, we got feeders breaking lower. The April is down $1.27 at 285.65. Out in your deferreds, we got what is it? Yeah, August 288.17 down $1.50. That's the highest contract I see across the calendar there. Over in your fat cattle, we got April fats down $1 at 207.85. Lean hogs are we got May down $1.22 at 87.25. June down $1.85 at 93.92. So your meat markets, they're definitely weaker. Crude oil's up 80 points at $70 a barrel, 70.15. Diesel's up 2 cents at 228. Looking at nat gas up 8 cents at 415. Your Dow's down 117 points, 41,000. The S&P down 48 at 5,575. The Nasdaq down 317 points, broke through 20,000, 19,141. Equity markets looking pretty weak here, having a rough week here ahead of tariff talk and recession fears. So that's kind of a snapshot of your markets. The dollar's a little bit firmer as well, 103.84 on the dollar index. But all right, it's all about the reports today. The day is finally here. Big prospective plantings and quarterly grain stocks reports. Those are out at 11 o'clock today. We're going to be live at 10:55. Going to show you the price action when those markets come out, break down a flash of the numbers. Going to do it solo, rocking solo. I think I can do it. We'll see. If not, it'll be what it'll be. Then we got the A team coming in at 1:30, and they're going to dig a little deeper into that. Probably, regionality differences with the prospective plantings number, that survey, and then also looking at the grain stocks regionality of all that and the implications to basis cash grain markets. Nate Duraco, Michael Reginelli, and Brian Basting are on that panel. So you definitely got an A squad there, top-notch guys coming in at 1:30. So a lot going on today, a lot of information, and a lot to talk about. A lot going on, but the day is finally here. Markets are going to be moving, and today's all about the reports. But once we get past today, we're going to quickly pivot back to watching weather, and then we've got the tariff talk the remainder of the week. So dynamic potential this week. The reports today have a history of moving your markets, limit up, limit down. Those are all on the table. And then we've got the tariff stuff right behind them. So this week is set up to have the potential to dynamically move your markets. And don't underestimate the potential of where these markets can go. And know that it's just unpredictable. What's going to get printed, what's priced in currently, and where they could go. So be careful what information you consume right now, how it's impacting your bias. We got to watch out for that confirmation bias out there. If you think the markets have to go higher, you kind of tendency to read information and accept information that supports that argument, or they can't go much lower. Just be careful what information you consume, and don't pencil your markets in too tight of a box, because they have the ability to break outside and go where you least expect them. And where you least expect them to go is likely what makes you have a bad day. So Brazil weather last week, it felt like it was turned a little bit friendly or supportive for some better precip, but a drier tone is kind of noted here as we start the week off. Important few weeks down there in South America, safrinha corn crop. So watch the Brazilian weather forecast going forward this week. That's also happening and noteworthy. U.S. weather also worth paying attention to, Northern Hemisphere and the Black Sea, and then the U.S. as well. But had a COT report on Friday. Got some graphics here. Going to throw those up at you. Manage Money, they liquidated 33,000 of their corn net long position, now at 75,000 net long. So that position has just flattened out significantly since earlier in the year. And they have the ability at this point, and you can see on that graphic, they have the ability to go negative 300,000 net short, or get flipped back onto the long side and add to those longs and push this market higher. So to me, if you're looking at a graphic and saying, where's this market going to go? You can look at this graphic and say, either way, whatever the narrative prints going forward, whatever it supports going forward, the funds have the ability to continue to sell this market and get short, or they have the ability to add to those positions and get long if they want and add some premium back into your markets. When we look over at cattle side of things, here's a look at the feeder cattle managed money position, and they added to their long, that 34,000 net long. Funds added 2.9 thousand on the feeder side of things. Looking over at the fats, fat cattle, they added to the net long there on the cattle side of things as well. So manage money, they have the ability to move your markets. And yeah, a lot of people wondering, when we look back at that corn chart, how much risk premium has come out of the market with this sell-off. And there has been, arguably, I mean, we've 300,000 plus net long down to 75,000 net long. We've sucked a lot of premium from the funds out of that market, but don't underestimate the ability for them to flip over to the short side if they want to. And they were 350,000 short last July. Could we, the bullish narrative that sells newsletters and makes friends. But I don't know. Does it help you at the end of the day? So be careful what you consume out there. All right. Moving forward here, got reports. We'll I want to look at those reports estimates and we'll flash those up. 94.4 million acres on the corn front, 83.8 million acres on the bean front. That's the average guesses out there. The cotton at 9.9. Be watching that. Big range there on the corn number. 92.5 to 96.6 is the range. We'll see what gets printed there. All eyes are going to be on that acreage number, I think, out of the gate, but we can't ignore that stocks number as well. So my guess on the acreage, if you were to pin that on me, 95.4, that's my number. Take it or leave it. I don't know. Doesn't mean anything. But 95.4, let's see. That's what I think they'll print. So here's a throw out there. Doesn't mean anything. Don't trade based on that number. Absolutely do not trade on that number, because that number is most likely wrong. But yeah, the stocks number though going forward, 8.1 billion bushels on the quarterly ending stocks. This is going to be our snapshot of feed and residual usage. We got a strong export on the corn front. We got a strong export story. We got a strong ethanol story. But that feed and residual number disappointed last December. We've talked about that last week. ATI Research has helped us and highlighted that. We'll see. That grain stock surprise could be what really moves this market. We'll see how it shakes out at the end of the day. But 8.1 billion bushels versus 8.352 a year ago. A little tighter anticipation there. Beans and wheat looks to be a little bigger than a year ago on that stocks estimate. All right. Yeah. We'll be back at 10:55 here, but before we go and roll out of here, I want to talk about the What's Caught My Eye section. It's my favorite section of our morning wire. So the What's Caught My Eye section has Brazil's soybean and soybean meal exports approaching record levels. Brazil's soybean lineup is at 13.1 million metric tons, which is 1 million larger than 2024. Shipments so far in March total 13.2 million metric tons, and 3/4 of that is destined for China. Exports to all destinations this month from Brazil should top 15 million metric tons, which would be the second time ever, and could likely set a new record for soybean exports there. The meal program, soybean meal, is also very aggressive and firm and strong, could reach 2.2 million metric tons, and also could be a record here for the month of March. So ATI Research highlighting, we got a big Brazil soybean crop, and a lot of it's moving out of the doors right now. The exports are moving. It's good to see the demand out there, but Brazil's covering it up and shipping a lot out. But demand is good to see. So that's the silver lining, the positive message out of that note. But yeah, Brazil's got a good crop and owns that bean market going forward here. So reports here 10:55. I think we'll be back here. I'm not going to belabor this too much. Your grain markets kind of dynamic. Key reversal candlestick on the corn chart last week. I'm going to throw a corn chart in, but real quick before we go, just because I want to highlight that. A lot of people talked about that key reversal candlestick. And I'm not going to throw it in today, but we'll bring it in on the 10:55 show. We'll bring in the a couple charts to look at, and but yeah, corn's 3 cents weaker as we head into report. Beans are up 3 cents, and your wheat market's relatively flat. Cattle market, meat market's having a rough go out of the gate here Monday. We'll be back here at 10:55. Set your alert alarm. We'll text it out and notify you when we come back. Looking forward to it. Big day ahead. If you have any last minute risk management you need to be going out and doing, dial us up. All right. See you back at 10:55. Thanks for joining us here today. See ya.